Hey guys, Kokiri here. I'm back. Sorry I haven't been posting lately. Things have been hectic, but I'm back. And I have a new video for you. So this is going to be a little different. We're not going to be playing any games today. Instead, we're going to be discussing something very incredibly important. The Zelda Timeline. Now, I know there's kind of like two types of fans when it comes to the Zelda timeline. There's those who like really don't care at all in the slightest, and then there's people like me who like absolutely go crazy about it. Um, so, however, I was simply minding my own business, and then I was thinking about the Zelda timeline, and then I realized that there's one issue that we need to discuss about it. And I have done research just now because I have been thinking about it and I have a theory now. So this is going to be great. Stick around if you can deal with my rambling, and let's get into it. So, also, wait, before I get any further, there are going to be major, and I mean major spoilers for Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. So just want to throw that out there. So if you have not played those games and you do not want to be spoiled, then you should probably go right now. So anyway, wow, that's a lot of y'all that left. Whew. Okay, well, for those of y'all that did stay, let's talk about this one issue I have with the timeline. And that, my friends, is Ganondorf. Now, in the Zelda timeline, all of the links reincarnate, like it's not all the same Link, it's just that they all happen to be named Link. There are some occasions where it is the same Link throughout games. For example, the one that comes up at the top of my head, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, that's the same Link, but the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, that's the same Link. Same with the Zeldas. It will occasionally have like the Zeldas like carry out throughout games, but most of the time it's different Zeldas. Ganondorf is that one exception. I'm not going to talk about Ganon. Those are two different entities. We're not talking about that today. Ganondorf is different. He is just, it's the same guy throughout all of these games with Ganondorf. So let's basically just get on into it. And yeah, let's go. So, at the end of Ocarina of Time, Link basically seals Ganondorf into the Sacred Realm. And then we have the ending where, you know, Zelda... Alright, so here is the main thing where, like, the timeline split. Zelda sends Link back in time to the 7 years, so... because she feels bad that he missed out on 7 years of his childhood. And then, so now we have the child timeline in which Link was sent to. And then we have the adult timeline, and that's where Zelda still is. So basically the child timeline has the hero of time, aka Link, and then the adult timeline doesn't have any hero. So that's kind of bad, but we'll get into that in a second. So Majora's Mask, not really going to talk about that much. It's a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, but it doesn't take place in Hyrule. It doesn't have any big like significance to what I'm talking about here, so we're just going to skip over that. Twilight Princess. This is where I begin to start having some issues. Now, I love the Twilight Princess manga. I haven't actually played the game, but I absolutely love the manga. It's like got to be one of my favorite mangas. Make sure to check it out if you want to. But anyway, so at the end of Twilight Princess, Link and Ganondorf have their final duel throughout like a lot of different phases of the final battle, and then at the end, Link emerges victorious and basically kills Ganondorf, and he doesn't seal him away, he flat out kills him. You can see because the Triforce of Power literally leaves him, and he basically just dies. So, that's like the end of the child timeline. And then we have Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not gonna get to Wind Waker yet. We'll get there later. Breath of the Wild, amazing game, again, but okay, so at the end, Zelda says this classic line.
Ganon was born out of a dark past. He is a pure embodiment of the ancient evil that is reborn time and time again. He has given up on reincarnation and assumed his pure, enraged form.
So, Ganon has, again, separate entity from Ganondorf. Ganon is like that beast pig thing, or in Breath of the Wild, he's that smoke snake thingy, or spider. So he has given up on reincarnation, and he is sealed away, okay? So, get that out of the way. Ganondorf in Tears of the Kingdom, major spoilers again, guys, for Tears of the Kingdom, right now. At the end of Tears of the Kingdom, well, not during the final battle of Tears of the Kingdom, after you go through a couple phases, Ganondorf swallows the secret turn, which leads to draconification, which is basically you swallow the secret stone, you turn into a immortal dragon. However, he is mortally wounded after he takes the secret after he eats the secret stone. So he has like weak points on the dragon. And then when you defeat Ganondorf, this is where some problems begin to emerge. He flies around the sky for a little bit, and then he basically explodes. Now, we're not talking like the mini bosses where they'll like explode in like or like just the normal enemies where they'll like poof up in like some black purple smoke, or in Breath of the Wild's case, pinkish red and black. No, we're talking like he full on explodes, like that. Like here, you'll look at the clip and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So that basically implies that I'm pretty sure that implies that he is dead. I don't think he could have survived that. So here is my issue with that in the timeline, is that he had already died in Twilight Princess. And this is very clearly not a different Ganondorf, because you can see, first of all, the resemblance between the Ganondorfs here, and if he dies in Twilight... So, basically, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because those are linked, we already know that much, cannot be before Twilight Princess. But, like, it can't be before Ocarina of Time, even, I don't think. But at the same time, it can't be, because if it's before anything in the child timeline, then that means he like already died, and he shouldn't be in these timelines unless he is magically resurrected, which could also be the case. But he can't be after Twilight Princess. It can't be after Twilight Princess either, because he dies in Twilight Princess and literally shows the Triforce of power leaving him. Wait, ooh. New thought in my head. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom don't really have the Triforce, so it is theoretically possible that it is after Twilight Princess, and then Triforce leaves him, and then he is like resurrected somehow because Demise's curse in Skyward Sword, which is a completely separate video. We're not talking about that right now. So that might be why he doesn't possess the Triforce of Power in Tears of the Kingdom. But we can also just go ahead to my other theory, and not the one that I just thought of right now, and that's in the adult timeline. So the adult timeline, basically, the gist of it is Ganondorf is revived, like he comes out of the Sacred Realm, and then everyone was waiting for Link, the hero of time, to show up and save them all again. But, of course, he didn't show up because he was in a separate timeline, and there's no way to reconnect those timelines, as far as we know. So the goddesses decide to flood the earth, to seal Ganondorf under the sea along with the rest of Hyrule. So that's basically like the opening of Wind Waker in this new like world where Hyrule has become like basically a myth. At the end of Wind Waker, it is unclear if Ganondorf died or if he was sealed away. Here's why I say that. I literally just looked up the battle, like right before I filmed this, just because I had no idea if I was correct or not. But Ganondorf is defeated at the end of Wind Waker, and then the Master Sword turns him into stone. And then he is buried under the sea, once again, with the Master Sword. What my theory is that he was sealed away, and then... Ooh! I might be closer than I thought here. All these thoughts are like swirling. Okay, so it is possible. My theory is that Ganondorf was sealed away in Wind Waker. He wasn't like full out like killed or like died or anything. And then Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom could theoretically, maybe, possibly, potentially be in the adult timeline. So it's possible that this is the new Hyrule that we're looking at in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It also could be the reason why the depths exist. It could be possible that maybe the depths is the old Hyrule that was under the ocean. And then that might also be why at the beginning of Tears of the Kingdom we see Ganondorf at the bottom of the depths with Ravu's hand. And I know that Tears of the Kingdom kind of has its own lore about how that happened, but I still think that could be like a genuine theory. But then we kind of run into another road bump. So another problem is with that theory, while it is pretty cool, how did the Master Sword make it back to Korok Forest if the... Oh, wait. Korok Forest. Oh. Ooh. That actually might further prove my point that it's in the adult timeline. So if you don't know, Koroks are actually evolved from the Kokiri. Not me, like the race Kokiri in Ocarina of Time due to the flood. So they evolved into the Koroks. And we don't have a Kokiri forest in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Instead, we have a Korok forest. So that could further prove my point. But we also have the little speed bump where we have both Zora and Rito in the same game, because that kinda shouldn't happen, because the whole thing, and this makes zero sense to me, but the whole thing was the Zora evolved into the Rito due to the Great Flood, which does not make sense to me in the slightest. Like, the Zora are literally fish people, they could swim. in the flood. I would think that they would I would think that that would be better. I don't see why they have to be birds, but anyway, that's a different video. So, but so yeah, but honestly, so that's like my theories about all of this. But at the end of the day, we really don't know. This, and as much as I don't like to admit it, because I really like the timeline, this was not intentional and in the slightest from Nintendo at the beginning. They made the timeline because fans wanted to know how it was all connected, and I really find it cool how they were able to like connect all of it and it still kind of make sense. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on the timeline. And yeah, and this is all just series. This is not official or anything. If you want the official timeline, you can look at the Masterworks book. I looked at it, and despite being in Japanese, I could kind of tell what the timeline was, and to my utter dismay, Breath of the Wild and Keys of the Kingdom are in like their own separate world. So we really have no idea how this is all connected, or if they are connected, or where we are going with this timeline. We don't even know where Echoes of Wisdom is in the timeline. I hate to admit it, but Nintendo could flat out be abandoning the timeline. But at the end of the day, it's just a video game series. And at the end of the day, they are still making great games. So, let me know if you like this video, and maybe I can try making more theory kind of like type videos. And yeah, so if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And yeah, so this is Kokiri signing out.